The district south of Market was overcrowded and poorly built, but it suffered the worst earthquake damage, above all because it stood on an area reclaimed from the sea. When land became scarce during the boom of the gold rush, the city expanded into the bay, reclaiming land by using garbage, sand, and rotting wood. When the quake hit this made ground, its powerful seismic waves forced water into the soft soil and turned it into quicksand, sucking whole streets back down into the earth. South of Market virtually disappeared.
Portions of south of Market that not only liquefied where the ground turned to soup, but it actually had something called the lateral spread. The ground actually moved horizontal. It actually moved 12 feet from where it originally was.
In 1906, 3 square miles of San Francisco stood on land reclaimed from the bay.
What happens during an earthquake is when the waves travel through made land or soft mud, the velocity is so slow that the seismic waves sort of pile up and amplify in the near surface, and the shaking winds up being much more severe. So one can relate directly the severity of shaking to the type of ground conditions from place to place.
In his house high above the bay, the mayor of the city, Eugene Schmitz, had slept through the quake undisturbed.
Hey, Schmitz! Hey, Schmitz!
The homes of the mayor and many of his wealthy neighbors had barely been damaged.
All right. I'm coming.
We've been hit by a huge quake.
What?
It's chaos downtown. I'm telling you, it's bad.
Give me a minute. Keep the engine running.
Yes, sir.
We're going straight to City Hall. Yes, sir.
The shockwave had ripped through the city, leveling street after street. But the pattern of damage at first seemed inexplicable. South of Market, nearly every building had been destroyed. Yet some of the most prosperous districts, like Nob Hill, Telegraph Hill, and Pacific Heights, remained untouched. But it wasn't just the strengths of the buildings that saved them. The answer lay in the ground. All these areas shared a common geology.
The lowest ground acceleration is on bedrock. That's the safest place to be. And so there's portions of San Francisco that are on bedrock, and that's, if you want to pick your best location, that's where you want to be.
Mayor Schmitz's house stood in Pacific Heights on solid bedrock.